Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. So in this video today, we are going to be looking at 13 ultimate tips and tricks when it comes to building your base. I'll be using a simple longhouse design in this video to show you guys some tips and tricks on how to make your build look better. I hope this video helps you guys and you get some inspiration and pull some ideas from it. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, it would mean a lot, and comment down below what you guys think. So the first tip I want to give you guys is planning out your builds. This is probably one of the most important steps as it can give you a good idea of what you want. It also stops you guys from making mistakes when you're halfway through the build after you've placed all the roofs and the walls and whatnot. For me personally, I like to plan out my builds with the 2-meter horizontal poles and plan out the spacing and the area that I want to build with. This is the basic design that I'm going to be using to show you guys these tips and tricks and making it look better. Moving on to tip 2, which is adding layers to your roofs on the edges. Now this may seem like a simple step, but it actually really does make a difference in how your build turns out. This brings us to tip 3, which is adding depth to your detailing. Now, as you can see here, I'm adding an extra layer on the walls, which allows me to bring out the detailing more, which gives it a more prominent detailing look. Now, this tip will apply to all of your walls, whether it's your walls of your base, whether it's the walls around your base, it applies to everything. In the demonstration in the video, I show you guys a simple pattern that I did just to demonstrate how much better it looks when you detail with depth. And that's the finished design. Another bonus tip is adding extra layers to the support beams on the edges of your roof, like I've demonstrated in this video. This leads us on to tip 4, which is adding an overhang on the edges of your walls. As you can see in the video, I add 3 layers on. You don't actually have to do 3 layers, but I just thought it was a really cool design and look. This feature creates a really cool effect. You guys can do what you want with it. On the 3rd layer, I added a 26-degree roof, which created a really cool widening effect. Now this leads us on to tip 5, which is curving the edges of your roofs. Now there are many designs out there for curving your roof, but I chose this design. I thought it was the best looking one out of all of them. This design was heavily inspired by Myth. I will put his link in the description below. I was just playing around with this design and I added an extra long piece on the sides that went over onto the roof. Over here I only show the one side, but you can just copy it on the other side. Just slow the video down if you guys want to see how I built it. And here is the finished look. Now, moving on to tip number 6, which is roofs have half points. Now, I don't think many people actually know about this feature. I haven't really seen anyone mention it nor show it on a YouTube video, so maybe if you guys see someone that has mentioned it, please let me know. Otherwise, this feature is really useful because it allows you guys to have a perfect half measurement and allows you guys to build things that are off center. Now, I build it a little bit skew in the demonstration, but you guys get the idea. Moving on to tip number 7, adding support beams from your roofs. This is also a simple tip, but it really changes the aesthetic of your build. Now, you can do straight beams or you can do curved beams like I've demonstrated in this video. You can also add supports at the base of your base, but in my opinion, it's a bit boring. Moving on to tip number 8, reaching new heights with a destructible rock. Now I know this has been shown before, but I feel like this is very, very useful. So you start off by pressing F5 to open up the console, and with dev commands activated, you type in spawn rock _ destructible _ test. This rock has no physics, which means that it allows you to build things really, really high and keep stacking this rock on top so that you can keep resetting the ground in a sense to build higher and higher, as I'll demonstrate now. So here I have built stone pillars to the max height. If I place any more, it will break. As you can see, the top one is red. So I've gone ahead and spawned in the rock. As you can see, the pillar is still red, but when I place the pillar on top of that pillar, it goes into the destructible rock and almost resets it. So now the game reads the rock as the ground. The nice thing about this rock is you can go ahead and mine it away, and you can have even a single little rock in the middle of the pillars, and it allows you to keep stacking up without making it look ugly. As you can see, I've stacked up the pillars from the rock on top, and you can see that it's starting to go down to red, and all I have to do is just place another rock on top and just keep stacking and keep stacking. I personally think this feature will be removed, but for now we can use it to build pretty insane things. Moving on to tip number 9, using the raised ground feature as walls. Now, these walls are probably the best walls in the game simply for the fact that they are literally indestructible. You may end up using slightly more stone than normal walls. This obviously depends on how big your walls are actually going to be. Now, they did change the mechanics of the raised ground feature, but you can still do it with the new update. Moving on to tip number 10, make your walls look better. Now, time and time again, I see so many people showcasing their builds and their actual bases look really nice, but no one really focuses on their walls. In this demonstration, I use a 3-layer wall. You can do a 1-layer or 2-layer or whatever layer you want to do, but I just show you guys a basic little pattern design and adding a little walkway on top that is covered. If you have stuck around this far, please leave a like and subscribe if you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Moving on to tip number 11, spice up your entrances. This can be done any way you guys want. I just show you guys a very simple archway, showing you guys that a simple design can make the build look better. Now, moving on to the last tip, which is pretty much the most important tip of this entire video. Tip number 12. Do not be afraid to use the shift key. This is a very important tip simply for the fact that if you learn to master the shift key, you will be able to build so many things in Valheim. Valheim's snapping function actually limits to what you can actually build. And if you learn how to use the shift key properly, you guys can build so many better things, so many better shapes, and so many better designs. Once you start learning and using the shift key, you guys will actually begin to realize that those things that you thought you couldn't build, you actually can. This is the final product. As you can see, I changed a very simple longhouse design into something that looks actually quite nice. I hope you guys managed to gather some new ideas and new inspirations from this video. Now, moving on to the channel update, I'm going to be leaving some gameplay in the background while I talk. So I decided to change my channel name to my original gaming tag name, which is Foreman. The reason why I did this was because when I started this channel, I posted some build guides on Valheim, and I didn't actually expect one of my videos to blow up the way it did. And obviously that was in the beginning when Valheim was at like the top and a peak, when everyone was looking for build guides, and obviously the build guides have become a little bit saturated because most of the population has already finished the game and they are moving on to actually building something else, something bigger in creative mode or whatnot. So the original idea for my channel was to actually provide practical build guides for people that are playing in survival. And I've noticed that that niche has become saturated. A lot of people have started posting more and more on that. So I decided to change my channel name and not necessarily focus on only build guides. So I will still be creating Valheim content. It does not mean that I will not be making Valheim content anymore. I still will be doing this. I do love Valheim. It is a very, very good game. I just want to be able to create a wider range of content and cover more areas when it comes to Valheim, because I feel like if my channel name is ValheimBuilds, I am strictly stuck to Valheim building. I will be making other content on other games as well. I want to actually create a full-on gaming channel, not necessarily just for one game. So I will be posting other content soon, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys come along with me on this journey. I really do appreciate everyone that has liked the videos, commented, subscribed. It really means a lot. I read all the comments. They really mean a lot to me. And that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.